March 26, 2019 meeting of the Regional EMS Council of New York City to order. I want to point out that tonight's meeting we have a stenographer. Please speak loudly and clearly, and please identify who you are before you speak, because she can't see all these wonderful signs all the ways around the room. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is a roll call for attendance purposes.
Okay, Dove Jacob.
Present.
Denora Claudio. Christine Mazzola. Present. Allison Burke. Dominic Batinelli.
Right.
Joseph Marcelino.
Present.
Robert Bristol. Mordecai Goldfeder. John Johnstone.
Present.
Martin Grillo.
Present.
Gerald Gelbar.
Present.
Joseph Schenker, David Benelli, Scott Olansky,
Here.
Mordecai Lax,
Present.
Martina Barcarello,
Present.
Vincent Barranco,
Present.
Scott Chang,
Present.
Arthur Cooper, Robert Krupe,
Present.
Megan Farley,
Here.
Manfred Fuchs,
Here.
Sean Graves,
Present.
Jerry Gumbo,
Here.
Didier Langson,
Present.
Brian Levinsky,
Present.
Dennis Laurie,
Present.
Mitchell Powell.
Present.
Okay, we definitely have a quorum, we have 21 members
We have a
present.
quorum, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the February 26, 2019 meeting. The minutes were distributed, and I'm sure you all did your diligent homework and read them. Is there any
Motion to
comments,
approve.
any corrections?
Motion to approve the minutes.
You have a correction?
Scott's listed as a medic.
I can't hear you.
Scott is listed as a paramedic.
Oh, Scott's listed as a paramedic, and you're an EMT? Sorry,
Okay, correction.
get out.
Same attendance correction is noted at the
Yes, the
ambulance.
same text correction as the ambulance committee.
Liam Lagutch.
Yeah.
Well, that's coming up tonight as part of correspondence.
No, the attendance.
The attendance on the February meeting,
Sorry.
both of us should show absent
Okay.
on both meetings.
Fine. Hearing no discussion, a motion to accept the minutes is in order.
Second. Sean Graves.
Who made the motion?
Marty Grillo.
Okay, second.
Sean Graves, second.
Thank you. All in favor, say yes.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Please mark it as unanimous.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, when we do motions again, make sure you say your name clearly if you're doing a second.
Okay, do we have it now? That's why I asked again. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the correspondence report. As reported at the ambulance committee, many of the names on the list actually are, who have not submitted PCRs, actually have now switched to EPCRs and shouldn't be on this list. The council will write a letter to 911 unit to make sure they don't appear on this list anymore. There are no notices from the DOH to be read into the minutes. There was an approval for Staten Island University Hospital EMS to operate as an ambulance transfusion service. Bellevue Hospital has granted provisional approval as a level 2 pediatric trauma center. And various items were sent out about transfer, which we're going to discuss shortly. Various scholarship applications were received for the PISI scholarship, which we discuss at another time. EMS award nominations were received for some individuals, for EMS Physician of Excellence, Michael Redletter and Paul Barbara. ALS Provider of the Year, Jack Chapman, Paul Barbara. Excellence in EMS Quality and Safety, Brian Levinsky and Paul Barbara. And the due date is May 1st, 2019, not 20,190, but in any event, the due date is May 1st, 2019. So if you have other nominations, and there are other awards to be nominated for, please feel free to nominate people. Okay.
Actually, Paul Barber made the nominations. He's not in the running for those spots. Sorry.
No, that's not what it says here. I thought he was being nominated for all three position awards.
To nominate for.
But of course, he is certainly deserving of being nominated for all.
Absolutely.
Okay. The Office of Council sent out agendas, minutes, and associated attachments. There was a letter from the VFA. Who was VFA? Volunteer?
Volunteer Fire Association.
Okay. Identifying 2 unknown agencies responding to emergencies, and information about them was emailed to New York State DOH, who I'm sure is doing an investigation. Thank you. There were applications for pediatric emergency care coordinator, the PEC position, which were received from various agencies. I have to announce them because they require REMSCO endorsement.
Actually, I'm sorry, they've already been endorsed. This is the first time they're sending it to the state, showing that
So they have been sent to the state, showing they've been endorsed. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, thank you.
We have to do it for seating these. We have to seat, officially seat these people.
Okay, I thought we had done this already too.
No.
Okay, so New York State Volunteer Ambulance NRA District 18 has appointed Gerald Gelbart as primary representative and David McKitansky as alternate. Okay, so REMSCO needs to vote on this, okay, to approve their nomination. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone against? Anyone abstaining? Mark is unanimous. Greater New York Hospital Association has appointed Samia McEachin as primary representative and reappoints Allison Burke as alternate. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Please mark as unanimous, and please let them know that they should start showing up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that takes care of that. Thank you. We now move to the staff report, emergency preparedness update. Loudly. Identify yourself.
Yes. So Joseph Ranieri, REMSCO. We continue to distribute naloxone. That's an ongoing project, so we just received a new shipment. So any agency needs a new allotment of naloxone, just contact our office and schedule a date and time of pickup and let us know how much you require. We would like to thank all of the agencies that participated in the March 6th Surgex exercise. That was a citywide exercise run by the City Department of Health for evacuation of hospitals. All of the hospitals in the city participated in that drill, and we were happy that all of our proprietary services participated as well on the transportation side. We got a lot of good data out of that exercise, and we look forward to really looking at it and using it for our planning assumptions for the future. We continue to make progress with our electronic PCRs and getting additional agencies on board on our regional system. We'll be opening up for additional agencies to register on that system towards the end of April, so just be on the lookout for that. We continue to receive applications for security stickers, and we have a couple of applications for specialty stickers that will be forwarded to the committee. With that concludes the emergency preparedness report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Hearing none.
For the record, Arthur Cooper.
Allison Burke.
And Allison Burke.
Hi. Beautiful view, Figgy.
Okay.
Lovely.
The attendance sheet should be going around somewhere for signature. Does anyone have the attendance sheet? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the report from the ambulance committee.
My name is Joseph Marcelino. The ambulance committee met immediately prior to the REMSCO meeting this evening. We reviewed some of the applications. There was no review of new application for determination of public need. Emergency preparedness update was given by Joseph Ranieri. We also had some updates on the ambulance tag reports. What we also discussed at the ambulance committee was a review of the new application for transfer of operating authority of Middle Village Volunteer Ambulance Corps to Ridgewood Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Upon discussion with the ambulance committee, we first reviewed the mapping of this. The committee approved the mapping. The committee has also recommended and approved also the transfer. We will now hand that over to
Okay.
TJ.
So we have a seconded motion from the ambulance committee.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, the Department of Health has asked us to, before we do the vote on the transfer of operating authority, to approve the clarified territory. Yes, REMSCO needs to do that.
So we will at first vote on the ambulance territory, and for those who don't live in Queens, okay, I'll show you a picture, if that helps. But I think we should ask the Queens individuals if this accurately reflects the situation on the ground.
The map was sent out to everyone electronically, and I did also send out a street-by-street description of the territory. So hopefully that helps you. I'm from Staten Island, I couldn't tell you where it is.
Queens people, you want to identify something, make a report?
Jerry Gilbard, after review of the clarification of territories provided for Ridgewood Volunteer Ambulance Corps and Middle Village Volunteer Ambulance Corps, there is no overlap or encroachment in adjacent volunteer ambulance agencies, and I move to approve the clarifications as proposed.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? So for the record, the territory has been resolved. We now move to the primary motion. Before I read the motion, I will ask, is there anyone here who feels they need to recuse themselves from voting? And please state the reason, your name and the reason why.
Mr. Chairman, Sean Graves, for the record, I am a board member of the Ridgewood Volunteer Ambulance Corps. I'm not compensated financially, but I do have fiduciary responsibilities to the Ambulance Corps. So if you'd like to entertain it, I would be willing to recuse myself from this vote.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wishes to recuse themselves? Is there anyone here who feels that someone should have recused themselves and is not? Hearing none, we'll move on to the motion. The Ambulance Committee of the Regional Emergency Medical, well, now it's the REMSCO of the regional, the REMSCO.
Speak slower, the stenographer.
Oh, it's not enough to be already.
Robert's rules.
I will now enunciate. I will now enunciate carefully and slowly. The New York City Regional Emergency Medical Services Council, based upon the receipt of a complete application for transfer of operating authority of Middle Village Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc., 7367, to Ridgewood Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc., 7368, and a review of competency and fitness having been conducted by the Regional Emergency Medical Services Council of New York City and the New York State Department of Health, and that review having revealed no issues challenging competency and fitness, recommends that approval of the transfer of operating authority of Middle Village Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc., 7367, to Ridgewood Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc., 7368, operating authority in Queens County, merged territory, 7367, Greater Middle Village area, Middle Village parts of Maspeth and Elmhurst, with additional parts of Maspeth and Elmhurst, LIE to Calamus Avenue, and Grand Avenue to Maurice Avenue, and 7368 Ridgewood, West Maspeth, Queens, parts of zip codes 11385, 11378, and Bushwick, Wyckoff Heights, Brooklyn, parts of zip codes 11237, 11221, 11206, 11207 be granted as is shown on the map. Okay? Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, we move first to a roll call vote, and then this will be passed around for your signature.
Okay. Vote in favor, against, or abstain. Doug Jacob,
In favor.
Allison Burke,
Yes.
Christine Mazzola,
In favor.
Joseph Marcelino,
In favor.
John Johnstone,
In favor.
Robert Bristol, Mordecai Goldfeder, Martin Grillo,
In favor.
Gerald Gelbard,
In favor.
Joseph Schenker, David Benelli, Scott Orlansky,
In favor.
Mordecai Lax,
In favor.
Martina Baccarella,
In favor.
Vincent Barranco,
In favor.
Scott Chang,
In favor.
Arthur Cooper,
In favor.
Robert Krupe,
In favor.
Brian Levinsky,
In favor.
Megan Farley,
In favor.
Manfred Fuse,
In favor.
Jerry Gumbo,
In favor.
Dennis Laurie,
In favor.
Mitchell Powell,
In favor.
Yadidra Langsam,
In favor?
and Sean Graves has recused himself. Is it recused or abstained? This is unanimous approval.
Okay, the motion passes. We're now going to send this around for signature.
I'm not saying my vote needs to count, but I wasn't called. I'm not sure if I needed to be called.
Let me see.
Oh, because Mitch was called.
No,
No,
Oh, Dominic Nelly.
I'll think about it. In favor.
Sorry.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, is there anything,
Read your email.
is there anything further from the Ambulance Committee?
That concludes the ambulance committee report.
Thank you very much. Training Education Committee report. Relax.
So training and education. Right across. The training and education committee met on January 8th and on March 11th. We continue to try and get names submitted to the Department of Health and Regional Faculty as part of our overall plan for succession planning, to be able to have instructors at a level that can make additional instructors in the region. There were CIU and CLI courses conducted that went over very well. They were well received. 24 new CLIs will take the state exam on April 18th, 2019. So this is backtracking here to January, but back at that point, the protocol update module was developed and implemented and uploaded to the LMS. We have asked training ed members to help us in seeking out a replacement for the current LMS because it is not doing as good of a job as we'd like it to. In terms of stroke training, so the stroke rollout overall seems to have been successful. The LMS, after it was fixed from the failures that we had with the 2019 protocol rollout, we were, so far the LMS is showing that over 2,300 people have successfully completed the online part of the program, and that's besides agencies that did the training on their own and uploaded them to their own LMSs. So probably closer to 3,000 is my estimate. What else? We're working on developing a frequently asked questions list so that once this is live, people do have those answers. We're still awaiting the delivery of the posters that are going to go to all the agencies and the cards, the badge buttons that we're going to be giving out. So I'm told probably another week or two out for those. There was a question that was answered at REMAC regarding how some agencies that don't have direct online medical control are going to communicate with medical control. Primarily this affects the BLS volunteer agencies, and that question was addressed at REMAC. CME requests have now begun to go to training and ed for approval. A grid was approved at REMAC to be used for that. It was developed and helps delineate what will be approved for what. We will send that out if that's needed. And that's all I got for that. Next meeting is to be announced.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. We now move to the report from the REMAC, which I will make. So first of all, we need to endorse the various people who were appointed to the REMAC. The first for the Greater New York Hospital Association, appointed non-physician designee Samia McEachin with Alison Burke as the alternate. I'll do them all in one group. The Ambulance Service Medical Director, Reed Caldwell, MD, Jonathan Berkowitz, MD, alternate. ED Administrator, Matthew Fink, MD, Wallace Carter, MD, alternate, and EMT Ephraim Rendon. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? It passes. REMAC nominated Dr. Lewis Marshall to be reappointed to CMAC to represent New York City. This too requires our approval. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Thank you very much. The bylaws are still being discussed and revised, and you'll be told about it as progress is being made, if progress is being made. Okay, protocols. So the following motions were approved. First of all, the use of what we call the unified or reformatted protocols. For those who don't know what that means that we, instead of having separate sections for CFR, EMT, and paramedic, they are now on one page flowing with stops in between. Okay? So this was approved as the basis for all the regional protocols. It will incorporate whatever New York State collaborative protocols we feel are appropriate, but we are not joining, to be clear, we are not joining the collaborative protocols. REMAC has decided that this must be completed and approved by September 2019 for implementation by January 1st, 2020. So the protocol committee is actively going through these things, making sure that everything is okay, and then they'll be sent around. REMAC will approve it, and you'll be told. Also, REMAC approved as revised the medical control at the scene section of the general operating procedures. This was a very long discussion to bring this whole section up to date, to try to figure out every possible combination of physicians with medics on the scene, on the street, in their office, and so on. And REMAC came to some approved conclusion. Also, Appendix O, needle decompression of tension pneumothorax, was revised. Also, a revised rescue task force medical protocols. This is a limited triage for use during active shooter events. EMS is not allowed in hot zones, thank goodness. Patients are moved from the warm zone to treatment areas, and so this limited protocol for the active shooter events was approved. We had heard a presentation on quality assurance of the First Watch program by Dr. Redletter. We heard a presentation on community paramedicine and alternative destination ET3 model for Dr. Kevin Munjal. The next REMAC meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. Are there any questions? Thank you very much. We now move to the Quality Improvement Committee report. Who's making that? Me?
No one
Okay.
here is on.
Okay, I gotta find it.
Are you on, oh, Scott's on qual.
I second the motion that you made.
I love you too. Okay.
Do that, right?
The Joint Regional Emergency Medical Service Council and the Regional Emergency Medical Advisory Committee, that means REMSCO and REMAC, Quality Improvement Committee met on Tuesday, February 19th, and also March 14th. The following is a meeting summary. 3 PCR appeal, patient care restriction appeals have been received. They are being held pending completion of New York State DOH Bureau of EMS investigation. One case has been resolved by both the DOH and FIDNY, has lifted the PCR. Stroke. The REMAC stroke advisory has been issued. I believe everyone's received a copy of this at some point. A listing of thrombectomy centers has been developed and distributed. I believe that's been sent around
Yes.
as well. And a tool for online medical control facilities to collect data will be developed. There was a discussion about the regional QA for program agency deliverables. In short, the state asked us to come up with a list of things that we would like to propose become statewide QA/QI projects. There was a very, very long list. We chose a few of them. I think instead of me reading them, we should send them out. Okay? And we will submit these to the state, and the state will then ignore us or choose some of them and come up with 3, I believe, QA statewide over the coming year. Okay. Future QA committee meetings are, it's a long list, and Marie will send them around as well. Are there any questions for QA/QI? Thank you very much. There is no, I'm happy to report, State EMS Council report, because we did not yet meet. We meet next in May. I am not aware of any unfinished business. Is there any new business? Please look at your watch. Oh, you tell me. New business. Marie, don't look at your watch yet.
Well, you all know that this is the vote minutes. Okay, just so, this is going to be really fast.
Marie, you're ruining it.
You owe me a drink. We have free equipment at the offices of the council. We have glucometers. We have expired testing strips and fluids that our training centers can use. If you want any of this equipment, let us know. Come up to the office, take it away. EMS week, we're having our EMS recognition ceremony on Monday, May 20th. And we're looking for donations and pictures. I really like the pictures. It's one of the highlights of the year. We put it together and then we post it. Make sure you have pictures of your personnel. You know, it's nice to be seen in a video. Also, for those of you who have seen our emails, we are posting for a new CTC and emergency preparedness coordinator. So if you know of anyone that's interested, send us in the resume. Marianne, did you have anything new? Joe, you have anything else new? Now we're done.
If you haven't signed the attendance sheet, guests included, people sitting on the periphery, please sign it on your way out. And now you may look at your watch. And now a motion.
Dr. Isaacs would like to make one last announcement.
I apologize, I know it's beautiful out. I'm Doug Isaacs, Villanova. We're having a the annual Medical Special Operations Conference in May. That's kicking off EMS Week. As part of that, we have a New York City EMS competition. It'll be the 3rd annual. A team from Florida keeps winning every year. I think there's 5 Florida teams coming this year for the competition. So we like to see a great showing by New York City teams. It'll be taking place on May 15th and 16th at the Fire Academy. We have some really good scenarios. We do have some teams around the country, including some international teams. So you can go to the website, FEYMSOC, and just go to the competition. It's a lot of fun for your personnel, participate, and the trophy is pretty impressive. It's about 5'3", and it's a beautiful trophy and the brag rights for in this competition here. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Is
you.
there any other new business? Speak up or forever hold your peace. Motion to adjourn. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.